Hello, everyone. I am the movie guru, and I'm joined today by the wonderful, beautiful Jennifer Wigmore, who plays Chief of Police April Anderson in the upcoming Amazon series Cross. Please help me welcome her to the show today.
Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here.
Now, I have been enjoying myself watching Cross. It premieres this week, and it is a great show.
How many episodes are you in?
Thanks to Amazon, I was able to see it early, and I was able to. And listen, I was sitting on the edge of my seat.
I'm so glad to hear that.
I
You've
mean,
probably seen more episodes than me.
I know that's one of the things about being an actor, right? You don't get to see it until it's done, right?
That's right. In fact, I saw the first two episodes when we were at the premiere last week. So it was really, I was like you. I was also on the edge of my seat, and I kind of, for a minute, forgot I was in it. It was so great.
I mean, at one point, it felt like I was watching Batman, right? I mean, that type of drama, that type of detective work, and what you brought to the camera was nothing less than amazing.
Oh, that's kind of you. Thank you.
So, for those watching and who haven't seen it yet, Cross is a fictional detective and psychologist created by the renowned author James Patterson. He made his debut in Along Came a Spider, and which was his first best-selling novel. Now, to date, he has written 31 Alex Cross novels.
Isn't that amazing? 31.
Man, that is amazing. That's goals right there. That is definitely something to shoot for. And now, Alex Cross has been portrayed by other characters. It has been Morgan Freeman and some other people as well. But I think Aldis Hodge brings a great, reality to this character for a series.
Mhm. Yeah, Aldis is an incredible actor. He's one of those actors that I think many people will recognize him from the body of work that he's had in his career. But this is his moment. I
Mhm,
think this is Aldis Hodge's moment. This
mhm,
is the pinnacle role for him. It's a perfect role for him. He's absolutely brilliant. He straddles the very complicated character of Cross with a level of grace and intelligence and deep humanity that really makes him an incredibly complex character, and one that people will fall in love with, but also be frustrated by, because he makes a bunch of mistakes, and
mhm,
that makes him a really complicated human. And
mhm,
that's what we love on television. We love to see people who are complicated and who look more like us
mhm,
out here.
mhm,
And Aldis is, I'm happy to report that he is also a wonderful person. He is a generous, kind leader. He's supportive and always incredibly prepared and full of collaborative spirit. He's a genuine artist, and I feel very privileged to get so many scenes with him. Even though we kind of do this
mhm.
in our scenes together, it's nothing but love behind the camera. So
And that's actually a good point that you bring that up. There were some tough elements in the series,
yes,
and I feel like Chief Anderson had a tough role,
thank you.
which you pulled off perfectly, by the way.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
And she had to make some tough calls against Cross.
Yeah.
And so I want to ask you, how do you view your character and your character's morals?
I think it's an interesting thing when you're talking about women who have broken through the glass ceiling and have reached positions of power. And I think it's a really, I think the way that Ben has written, Ben Watkins, who is our showrunner and the writer of the show, along with our other great writers, but he's our big boss. I think the way he's helped me figure out how to straddle that power
Mhm.
has been really important. And I think again, the thing that's different about this show is how complicated all the characters are, not just the lead characters, but everybody down the line, and that includes Chief Anderson.
Mhm.
She is ambitious
Mhm.
and has her own agenda and has some things that she's trying to reconcile while trying to keep Cross in line. And so I think she sometimes walks a very fine line between that what is appropriate and what is not.
Mhm.
And so we're going to see Chief Anderson straddle some very difficult decisions
Mhm.
throughout the season. And you'll see that her and Cross butt heads quite often.
Mhm.
And but it just makes for a very complex and dynamic relationship where Cross is kind of getting it from all sides, and
Mhm.
you'll see that throughout the season that he's really getting hit from every angle in his life,
Mhm.
which makes it a lot of twists and turns, and it makes it really fun.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I mean, I like to see shows that are, real dramas, right? And they take you on a roller coaster, right? They've got
Yes.
their happy moments, they've got their low moments. And you're right. I mean, they were coming at him for all sides, and Chief April Anderson did not make it easy for him. But I definitely see the dynamic between you two.
Yeah.
So how was it? Well, you talked about Cross and Aldonis working with him. But how was it with some of the other crew? Because I felt like they carried it very well also.
Yes. Well, I think what you're seeing on screen is the incredible camaraderie and the family atmosphere that we actually have off camera.
Mhm.
We are a very close knit group. We care about each other very much. We spend time together off camera, and that I think shows in how much we trust each other on camera. I think one of the hardest things to do as an actor is to really trust the people that you're working with and your scene partners so that you can take risks, so that you
Mhm.
can make bold choices.
Mhm.
And when you have that from the jump, then you really do set the bar very high. And that all came from Ben and Aldis, that
Mhm.
that the bar was set really high. Both of those men were taking incredible risks and making very bold choices, which allowed everybody underneath, from the small day player actors all the way to the series regulars, to take chances too,
Mhm.
and to really be bold with the choices that we're making with our characters. And I think you can see it. You
Mhm.
can see that there's just a level of heightened collaboration happening between the cast,
Mhm.
and just allows us to get to the good stuff quicker.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. And there's also another element to the show that I don't know if many people will touch on, but I'm sure they will notice, and that is Washington, D.C.
Okay, so I would say that, and I've said this before in other interviews, that I think that this show is a love letter to Washington.
Mhm.
Um, and I've also said that I think Washington is actually a character
Mhm.
in the show. And those of you who live in Washington, I think you're going to love this show because of how well respected and well treated the show treats your home city. And it's incredible to me, that montage right at the beginning. You're going to love it. It's just a love letter to Washington. And isn't it nice to see a city so well treated and represented on the screen, and so clearly Washington? It's so clearly a
Yes.
place. I think it's just beautiful, and I'm really proud of the show for doing that too.
Yeah, I agree. Especially the opening, like you said. I mean, there are some shows that kind of go right into the episode, but they really laid it out in the opening, and you get to see a lot of shots. And like you said, it develops the city as a character.
Yeah.
and touched on some of the inner turmoils that you wouldn't know about if you weren't in the city, right? And so I think this is going to open the eyes of a lot of people to what DC is like and some of the things that go on and how great people are there, that are there every day. They're dealing with the problems and they're making it great.
Agreed. And, I think us around the world have an idea of what we think Washington is because it's such a
Mhm.
iconic, famous place. We all know the monument. We all know all the famous places that make Washington
Mhm.
famous. But I think you see a whole nother side of
Mhm.
Washington that you probably don't know if you've never been there. And I think that the show just is really going to highlight those aspects of Washington that we've never seen before
Mhm.
in a very respectful and kind way too. I think uh, there's an element to it that makes us all feel like I want to go there and I want to go to all those places that I see in the show. So I
Yeah.
hope you all want to do that.
And I think they will because food. I can tell food was a back setting hit on the show, right? They were
Right?
at different restaurants. They were showing, they were highlighting the food culture in Washington D.C. And I was like, yo, this is so right. Ben's Chili Bowl and places like that, like all these legendary places that people might not know about but are iconic in the city. So I thank you guys for capturing that and putting that in the show.
Oh, well, we love Ben's Chili Bowl, and we have a big love affair with Ben's Chili Bowl on the show. All the cast and crew are absolutely in love with Ben's Chili Bowl. There's no doubt about
Okay.
that.
Now let's talk about you for a second.
Sure.
You've had a great versatile career,
Mm.
and so what would you say your role as April Anderson, and how does that compare to some of your other roles? Is this your first time playing in a police detective, police chief?
Well, it's funny. I tend to play a lot of very powerful women. I played Diane Lewis in season 3 of Designated Survivor, and she was the head of the CIA.
Oh,
Right. So another powerful lady. And then in Why the Last Man, I played a character named Regina Oliver, who was the one of the conservative leaders and in line to be the president.
mhm. Wow.
So really strong women who tend to have complicated relationships. And I find them very fun and challenging to play and to also find the good in them and the reasons that they've gotten to the places that they've got to. I love playing Chief Anderson because Ben has written such a complicated woman who is straddling this very male-dominated profession and also trying to keep climbing. And I did a lot of research on female chiefs, and there's not as many as there should be
Mhm.
because they're doing an incredible job out there, and also really trying to walk that line
Mhm.
between making change and
Mhm.
also trying to hold on to their own jobs.
Yeah.
So it's been a real honor to research some of these incredible women, and also try and portray one with authenticity and complexity.
Mhm. Now, do you know if the character was another character in the book? Were you able to read up on it or read the novel that the series was based on?
Yeah, so in fact, the entire series is not based on any one particular
Mhm.
book that Patterson wrote, and really what Ben wanted to do was take the world of Cross and
Mhm.
create new stories that we didn't know the ends to, and I
Mhm.
think that's instead of paying allegiance or doing one book, I think it's opening up the world to a bunch of new stories that may not have been told yet.
Mhm.
So Anderson is not in any of the books, but I believe that Anderson has aspects of the chiefs that are in a lot of the books.
Okay.
And I think the other thing that Ben did that updated the books a little bit with the world. And one of the things that he updated it with is women.
Mhm.
There's a lot more women in the series than there is in the books.
Mhm.
And I think I think Ben, being a great feminist, surrounded Cross with very powerful women at every turn,
Mhm.
and that to me is a real sign that Ben's a great feminist, because really, if once you see the series, you'll see, oh yeah, all these women around Cross,
Mhm.
helping him make decisions and adding complication to his life.
Can you share with us any scene that sort of stands out for you? If you, and I know you said you only seen the first two episodes, but maybe a scene that you did or an episode that maybe some of the viewers should watch for?
I can't give you any spoilers because it hasn't come out yet. But 2 days, 2 days.
2 days.
But I will just direct you to a scene that it feels and looks different than all the other episodes,
Mhm. Okay.
because of its location.
Mm.
And I would say that was a very fun episode to shoot, partly because we were all on set together, and we were kind of all stuck together. So we spent a lot of time together shooting that one particular episode. And even though that episode gets really intense,
Mhm. Yeah.
you'll see when
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about when you see it. It gets very, very intense, which is all the more reason that you should know behind the scenes we were having a great time.
Mhm.
um, so yeah, that would be my favorite. That episode was
Mhm.
uh, an absolute blast to shoot it, and it was really there's just a big group scene, and it
Mhm.
was a lot of fun to figure out how we were going to shoot that. And that was our director, Stacey Muhammad, and I just can't say enough of amazing things about our directors on the show, who really were incredible collaborators with the cast and building this world with us. It was just Nzinga Stewart too, also just incredible, incredible director.
And I think I know which scene you're talking about as well, because when it came, I was like, man, that was intense. That was
Right? I know people are going to know exactly what we're talking about when they
yeah.
see it.
And especially if it's the scene I'm thinking of, especially your performance as well. You
Oh,
had
thank you.
what I want to say the closing, right? And it was kind of like speechless. You could tell, like, wow, So congratulations on that. That was amazing.
Yeah,
Um, so
it was a thing, that's for sure. Yeah.
so what's next for Cross? I don't know. Has there been any other announcements? Is there a season two that has been announced or not yet?
Well, we have already shot season 2.
Okay.
So
Okay, man,
we
talk
have
about
already
get the
shot it.
job done.
Yes. So that is very exciting news to share with everybody, and that we've already shot it. So it's ready to go. If you love it, then you'll get to see it. And so, we hope that we'll be able to continue the world, and that people will, binge watch the whole first season and get us greenlit for season 3. That would be incredible.
Okay, well, that's amazing. Well, I want to say thank you for your portrayal on this show. Thank you for what you bring to the screen. It's been amazing watching you this season. I look forward to watching you in season 2 as well. And so
Yes, you
thank
will.
you for being on the show. I really appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you so much for making the time, and I wish everybody the best and enjoy the show.
Before we go, let everyone know where they can find you at, if it's social media, Instagram,
Sure.
Twitter.
Well, you can find Cross on Amazon Prime
Mhm.
starting on February 14th, which happens to be my birthday. So consider it a birthday present to me. You can find me at Jennifer Wigmore on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. And you can find me on my website too, jenniferwigmore.com.
Awesome. All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. You have a great night.